Hello, Joanne Brooks from Navi8gBiz, in case you didn't know. So we are streaming across a whole bunch of social platforms today because we're talking about, well, I'm talking about the key ingredients to starting a business. Now, it's really interesting. I belong to a number of networks and are across many social media platforms. And what I've noticed of late is a tidal wave, you could almost say, of people who are looking to start a business. And what I think is awesome, and I did a quick live on this, we did a reel, etc. earlier this week, yes, that I had seen that behavior, which is great, which is wonderful. You know, business ownership, as Nick Barnsell and I always talk about, that is the way that you can generate and create wealth in your home, for your family, for your community, etc. So it has this ripple effect, right? But what I really like and love is that I'm seeing a wave of people who want to start a business and they're actually looking for guidance, support. So, you know, that's awesome. One of the key ingredients to starting a business is to recognize you shouldn't do it alone. Absolutely not. You know, business ownership will always be hard. Let's be really clear about this. This is not business ownership is not something that's easy. So if you're thinking you're going to jump into business ownership because you're going to do it better than the boss, you think it looks easy because you're seeing all these people on social media looking as though they've had massive success, etc. You know, there's going to be the odd occurrence that somebody has that is an overnight success. And you know what? Most of it's not true, because this perceived overnight success is backed up by years of working in industry, understanding industry, building skills, failing, succeeding, this roller coaster that business is. And so, you know, business ownership can be really hard. It is hard. Let's not think that it's easy. So for those of you who are seeing social posts going, you know, business ownership's really easy, do this course and you'll have $1 million business in 90 days. Well, I call BS on that, because it's pretty rare that happens. What I know is important about business ownership is creating really strong foundations in your business. Now, for those of you who've heard me, this might be an analogy that you've heard before, but for those who've not, let me share this. Excuse me. If you're going to build a house, you need to put foundations right in. You know, they need to go in deep. So if it's a single story, it only goes so deep. If it's 2-story, it goes deeper, maybe wider. If it's 3 stories, etc., it goes really deep. If it's a high rise, if you look at the growth and, you know, the business, the property development is what I'm trying to say, in any of your capital cities, and you look at those high rise, some of those foundations go down floors, lots of floors. And yes, some of it's car parking, but a lot of it is to hold that building strong, so that it can withstand the hurricanes, the cyclones, the floods, the fires, everything that we face regularly in Australia particularly. And I know these natural events happen overseas as well. I see lots of hurricanes in the US, etc. But if you don't have strong foundations and strong materials you built that building in, there's a very good chance it's going to fall over. So why on earth do people out there who want to start a business not put in strong foundations? Like they love the pen that they're going to sell. They love the notebook they're going to sell. They're really passionate, have great technical skills in being a carpenter, a butcher, an accountant, a coach, if you will. Whatever business you're in, you need really strong foundations. So let me give you another, what I know to be absolutely true. When you're going to build a business, you need to create really strong foundations. So this is another key ingredient. So strong, I want you to visualize this, so strong that those foundations go through the earth, wherever you are, to the center of the earth. And if you're on this side of the earth, where I am in Australia, the bolt that are your foundations pop out at China, pop out at wherever the opposite side to you. So you can visualize this bolt popping out. I want you to put a nut around it and tighten it strong so it sits really tight and hard. They're the foundations that you need to build when you're building, growing, starting a business. So be prepared to ask for help. Be prepared. Key ingredient here that I'm going to share today. Key ingredient is be prepared to ask for help from people who've been there, done that. Now, I shared a story earlier this week, maybe last week, about someone I was speaking to who was looking to start a business, reached out for some guidance, which was wonderful. And she said that she was feeling a little bit overwhelmed because people were telling her, oh, you need to get an ABN. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. Get insurance, yada, 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 all those things. So maybe some of these messages are ringing true for you. My question to her was, who were these people that were telling you this? Oh, well, it was the supply of some equipment that I needed to get to, put in the premises. Oh, cool. So what's their core business? Well, selling that product. Right. So they're not an accountant. They're not an insurance broker. They're not these people, these people who are expertise in these areas of business. Yeah, no. So my key message here is be careful of who you're receiving guidance and support from. Do they have credibility? Are they an expert in the area that they're talking about? Now, I'm surrounded by wonderful family and friends and colleagues who mean well, want to give me advice, and I know a lot of you are too. So I'm not suggesting you are rude, you discount it blatantly and roughly with that person. Know that they're giving that potentially, if they're close to you, they're giving you this advice because they are giving it with love and they're concerned about you. So the thing that you could say back to them is say, that's great. Yeah, you're right. I do need to know those things. So thank you for reminding me. I'm going to go and talk to the experts who know about that. So thank you. That's awesome. And I'll make sure that I put it on my to-do list to go and do those things. So that's super, super important to make sure that you're filtering who's giving you this information. That's another key ingredient to starting your business. But I want to go back to the beginning. Oh, really? Joanne's going to start another story? No, I'm not. No more stories. What I want to ask you first, when you are looking to start your business, my question is to you, why? Why do you want to start this business? Is it because you love pens? You love working in the accounting industry? You love working in the mortgage broking industry? You've got a fabulous job. You're seeing how much money the boss is earning, and you know you could do better, and you're going to do a better job. If they're your reasons, think harder, dig deeper, dig very deep, because business ownership, as I said, is hard when you surround yourself with the right people, when you've got those foundations with the bolt on the other side of the world, securing your foundations, that's key. But you also need to really dig deep as to why. Let me give you an example. It's not a story, but an example. So Navigate.biz, why do we exist? Why did we start this business? Well, Nick Barnstall and I, we started this business late 2017. Excuse me. And we've both been running our respective businesses over many years, different businesses with success and with not success. And we will always share those highs and lows of our business journey anytime. But we got together and we realized we were at a place where we were both just exited the business that we're in. And we realized that we'd created a lot of experience, some war wounds, if you will, rubber on the road. There was a few scars here and there, a lot of joys, a lot of great reflection, a lot of good learnings. And, we decided that we recognized and realized there were a lot of business owners out there that don't succeed. And whether you look at the statistics, and you could argue, is it 60%, is it 95% of business failure? We decided that for us, for Nick and I, we had an aligned reason for doing this, was that failure rate was just simply not acceptable. And we wanted to put a dent in that. And we knew that from our experience of 50 years in business, about 40 different industries, 12 countries, gosh, we've got a lot to share. We've got a lot that we are happy and vulnerable to be willing to share. This is what didn't work for us, and this was the consequence. This is what did work for us. And yeah, it took longer than we expected, but let's share how we got to that end game, that you might be able to succeed quicker. So surround yourself with the right people. So this why for you, you really need to tap in. Is it not that you love pens that you want to sell out? And for those of you who know me, I often use the pen analogy because it's sitting right in front of me. But does the sale of this pen give you the ability to do the things that you want to do down the future? And is it a lifestyle for you and your family? Is it a lifestyle for your team, for your staff, for the people that you connect with, your customers, making them feel great? Is it that the end game, the net profit that you can generate out of selling pens, an analogy, will enable you to do the next thing that you want to do, which may be some philanthropic stuff, some charity things, giving back. That may be what your end game is, and this is the vehicle to do it. That's great, because of what I want you to make sure you do is you really dig deep into your why, which will then link into your purpose, your mission, your values, and all these things, so that you can tap into that when stuff gets a bit tough. Sometimes days go to custard, right? They just don't always pan out as you'd like them to, and sometimes stuff happens. You go, oh man, that was a hard day. But you know what? I've got my goals here. I've got my vision there. I've got my why up on the wall. I need to keep looking at that. I need to keep tapping into it so that it keeps that fire in the belly. So your very key ingredient of why, the key ingredients to starting your business for it to be successful and sustainable is know your why deeply, really connect with it, which as I said leads to all these other things. The next item is you might want to sell pens. Did you want to sell this type of pen, which is a fountain pen, a normal pen, or a colored pen? And they're different price points, right? Over $100, couple of bucks, not much. So the product or service you're going to sell, you need to make sure that's viable. Is there a demand for it? Will your prospective customers buy it? How will they buy it? Where will you find them? If you're talking pens, there's a big market for pens. Well, there's a vast market for pens because, look at Officeworks, real estate agent, news agents, so many places, Woolworths, Coles, Target, they all sell pens. But I can tell you this pen that I got, which is a particular brand that I love, and it is a fountain pen. It's a beautiful color. It feels great. It's got some good weight to it. I can't buy this at Coles or Officeworks. I had to buy it from a website in the US, and it's a site that I've gone to many times because I love these pens. And I'm prepared to pay the $100 or so for them because it's just a lovely feeling. And because it's a fountain pen, I really like that. And it's an easy fountain pen to refill. So the reason I'm rattling on about that is, where does your product fit? High-end, middle, lower market, and what will your market pay for it? And if what they pay for it, will it make it viable? Can you make enough profit? Can you cover your expenses? Can you make enough profit that you can put it back into the business, but also generate the income that you need to live on? And is it scalable that you can employ staff, etc.? So again, this doesn't matter whether it's a product or a service, whether it's pens, whether it's accounting, whether it's building houses, it doesn't matter. You need to make sure that the product is viable and there's demand and that you know where to find your customers. The next key ingredient, and I'm mindful of how long I'm talking here, have a plan. You need a plan. Don't think that whacking up a website, a landing page, your page on Facebook, your page on wherever, you'll get a product on there, use a Shopify site, get it out there, and that's all you need. Oh man, it's not. All the things I've spoken about, but a plan, a solid, hard plan that you've done all the research, you've done all the metrics, you know your customers, you know what they look like, and that plan is something that you can use as your roadmap. So, and it's not something that you do once and throw it in the drawer, never to be seen again. It is something that you must revisit yearly, if not more regularly. You need to make sure, again, you've surrounded yourself with the right people. So seek help. Be humble enough to say, and I've had many conversations of this with a number of prospective business owners, and it's wonderful that they're reaching out, is that they understand they have the technical skill for their business, chef, broker, woodworker, mechanic, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, but they realize they know the technical skill, but they don't know how to run the business and the bits that sit around it. Well, there's some elements of it that they don't know. So surround yourself with the right people. Mentors, here we are at Navigate.biz, that's us, that's what we do. IT, marketing, bookkeeping, accounting, every aspect of logistics, warehousing, manufacture, whatever it might be. Last key point, coming to an end. Have you done the cash flow forecast to understand that it's going to be a period of time that no money will be coming in? Have you prepared that you can manage that? Have you worked out and determined when cash will start coming in? When will products start being sold? Can you hold your lifestyle and food on the table during that period? What happens if it takes longer? What are you doing about that to manage that? So, managing your money, being aware of what facilities you need in place before you start the business. What, some quick wins you could do. Have a bloody great garage sale. What can you sell? What are the things that are Nice to have, but not absolutely necessary. What can you sell? You got extra cars, a jet ski, skis, something. Can you raise money against your property? All those things need to be considered, because the last thing you want is you get into month 6 and you go, oh crap, I've run out of cash. The sales aren't quite coming in yet. Bugger, what am I going to do? Don't leave it that late. Have this in your plan, and your business plan should meet all that. So if all this stuff resonates with you, amazing, wonderful. Reach out to us. We've got a number of programs that speak to this. And yeah, this is the shameless upsell, because why else am I? I'm in business. I'm here to make money, right? But I'm also here to help business owners. So we've got a program called Startup to Success. Self-paced program, $497, $497. Some people might think that's expensive. You can payment plan it. But what if at the end of that program, that 30-day program, you've got the solid foundations done and you're ready to grow and scale this business? Awesome. What if it's the other end and you go, actually, this is not for me? $500 spent is much better spent than losing your house. That's the last thing we want for you. That's money well spent. So Startup Success is you. If you have already started, but you're thinking, oh, some of these things I don't have in place, and I'm already in this business, both feet in, both boots in, well, then Biz Bootcamp starts this week. Literally starts Thursday. Self-paced program, 56 days of mentoring from Nick and I. Yep, you get us for 56 days. Every Friday, you get an hour and a half of group mentoring, and it's a really rich, wonderful conversation. So go and check those things out. www.navigatebiz, Navigate.biz.com, and you will find those programs there. If you don't do anything else, join us on YouTube, subscribe. You will see all these lives coming your way so that you can jump in and understand what we're doing. There's loads of free content that we've got available on YouTube, in our store, on our website, Facebook, everywhere. We're on LinkedIn, the works, Clubhouse even. I've got Clubhouse going at the moment so people can listen to the recording. So I feel like I've absolutely talked your ear off. Go check it out. Don't be the person sitting at the bus stop waiting for the bus to turn up to solve your problem, to get you there. Don't be that person. Take action, because as a business owner, it's up to you. Your business is reliant on you getting your skills right, and then getting to the point where you can put people on, and then you don't have to do all those things. You can work on the business and grow the business. I can't wait to see you in either Startup to Success. There's Business Planning Basics. There's Biz Bootcamp on Facebook, on YouTube. We are everywhere, man. Can't wait to see you there. You have an awesome day, and we'll be back live on Tuesday, because Monday is Easter Monday. We're going to respect that religious holiday. You have a wonderful long weekend for those of you who are celebrating that, and I can't wait to see you in the next live, which will be Tuesday. You have a wonderful day. See ya.